You know what the worst part about joint pain is? It's not the pain itself. It's the fact that you might be doing things every single day, things you think are helping, that are actually making it worse. And nobody's telling you. I'm talking about habits. Simple, everyday things. Things your doctor never mentioned. Things you've been doing for years without realizing they're slowly destroying your joints. Some of these habits are obvious once you hear them. Others, they're going to surprise you. And habit number 3, when I tell you what it is, you're going to be angry. Because chances are, someone told you to do it. Maybe even your doctor. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why your joints hurt more some days than others. You're going to know which habits to stop immediately and which ones you can fix with simple changes. And more importantly, you're going to learn what you can actually do about the underlying problem that's making these habits so damaging in the first place. So if you're over 50, if your knees ache when you climb stairs, if your hands are stiff in the morning, if your hips hurt when you get up from a chair, stay with me. Because what I'm about to share could change everything. Let's start with why habits matter so much when it comes to your joints. Here's something most people don't understand. Your joints aren't like your heart or your lungs. Those organs work automatically whether you think about them or not. But your joints? They're completely dependent on what you do every single day. Every movement you make, every position you hold, every food you eat, every medication you take, it all affects your joints. And the thing is, joint damage happens slowly. So slowly that you don't notice it happening. Until one day you wake up and you can barely move. Think about it like this. If you don't brush your teeth for a day, nothing happens. Miss a week? Still probably fine. But do it for months, years? Eventually your teeth rot. Joint health works the same way. One day of sitting too much doesn't destroy your knees. But years of it? That's a different story. And here's what makes it worse. Most of these habits, they don't feel wrong when you're doing them. Some of them actually feel good. That's why they're so dangerous. You have no idea you're damaging your joints until the damage is already done. Now, before I get into the 7 habits, I want you to understand something important. This isn't about blaming yourself. You didn't know. Nobody told you. And the truth is, some of these habits were recommended by doctors who also didn't know what we know now. But knowledge is power, right? Once you understand what's happening, you can fix it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. All right, let's get into it. Habit number 1. Habit number 1. Sitting for hours without moving. I know. You've heard this one before. Sitting is the new smoking. But let me tell you what's actually happening to your joints when you sit for too long, because this is something nobody explains. When you sit, especially in the same position for hours, the fluid in your joints stops circulating. Think of it like a pond. When water flows, it stays fresh. But when it sits still, it gets stagnant. Your joints have this protective fluid, synovial fluid, that needs to move around to stay healthy. It carries nutrients to your cartilage and removes waste products. But here's the thing about cartilage. It doesn't have blood vessels. It relies entirely on this fluid to get what it needs. So when you're sitting still, that fluid isn't moving. Your cartilage isn't getting fed. Waste products build up, and over time, your cartilage starts to break down. But it gets worse. When you sit, you're compressing certain joints while other joints aren't being used at all. Your hips are flexed in the same position for hours. Your knees are bent. Your ankles aren't moving. And compression without movement is terrible for joints. Now add this to the equation. Most people sit with terrible posture. Shoulders rolled forward, spine curved, head pushed forward looking at a screen. This puts uneven pressure on your spine, your neck, your shoulders. And uneven pressure means uneven wear. Here's what really happens. You sit at breakfast, then you sit in your car or on the bus. Then you sit at work or at home watching TV. Then you sit at lunch. More sitting in the afternoon. Dinner sitting down. Evening on the couch. You might be sitting 12, 14, 16 hours a day. And every hour you sit without moving, your joints are starving and suffocating. The fix isn't to never sit. That's not realistic. The fix is to interrupt the sitting. Every 30 minutes, stand up. Walk around, even just for 60 seconds. Shake out your legs. Roll your shoulders. This gets that fluid moving again. Think of it like wringing out a sponge. When you move, you compress and release your joints, and that pumping action circulates the fluid. When you stay still, nothing moves. If you work at a desk, set a timer. Every 30 minutes, get up. Don't wait until you feel stiff. By the time you feel it, the damage is already happening. Make it automatic. Okay, habit number 2. This one surprises people. Habit number 2, not drinking enough water. You might be thinking, what does water have to do with my knees? Everything. Remember that synovial fluid I just mentioned? The stuff that protects your joints? It's mostly water. About 85% water. So when you're dehydrated, your body doesn't have enough raw material to make that fluid. Think about it. Your body prioritizes where water goes. Your brain needs it. Your heart needs it. Your joints? They're lower on the priority list. So when you're even slightly dehydrated, your joints are the first place your body steals water from. And most people over 50 are chronically dehydrated without even knowing it. Here's why. As you age, your sense of thirst decreases. You literally don't feel thirsty the way you used to. Plus, a lot of older adults avoid drinking water because they don't want to get up to use the bathroom so often. But here's what happens when your joints don't have enough fluid. The cartilage gets dry and brittle. It's supposed to be smooth and slippery, cushioning your bones. But when it dries out, it gets rough. And rough cartilage means friction. Friction means inflammation. Inflammation means pain. There was a study, and I'm not going to bore you with all the technical details, but researchers found that people who were chronically dehydrated had significantly more joint pain than people who drank enough water, just from dehydration alone. Now, how much water should you drink? The old 8 glasses a day thing is fine as a general rule, but honestly, a better guide is this. Your urine should be pale yellow. If it's dark, you're dehydrated. If it's clear, you're drinking too much. And here's a tip that helps a lot of people. Don't chug water all at once. Your body can only absorb so much at a time. Instead, sip consistently throughout the day. Keep a water bottle with you. Take a few sips every 15 to 20 minutes. Also, coffee and tea count, but they're diuretics, meaning they make you pee more. So if you drink a lot of coffee, you need extra water to compensate. I know it seems too simple. Drink more water? That's going to help my joints? But your body is mostly water. Your joints are mostly water. You can take all the supplements in the world, but if your joints are dehydrated, nothing else is going to work right. All right, now we get to habit number 3. And this is the one I said you need to stop immediately. Are you ready? Because this is going to make some people angry. Habit number 3. Taking anti-inflammatory medication regularly. Wait, what? You might be thinking, but my doctor told me to take ibuprofen for my joint pain. I know, and your doctor was trying to help. But here's what they probably didn't tell you. NSAIDs, that's ibuprofen, naproxen, Aleve, Advil, all those over-the-counter pain medications, they do reduce inflammation and pain. In the short term, they can be helpful. But when you take them regularly, day after day, week after week, month after month, they actually accelerate joint damage. Here's how. These medications work by blocking enzymes that cause inflammation. Sound good, right? Problem is, those same enzymes are also involved in cartilage repair. So while you're reducing inflammation, you're also preventing your body from fixing the damage. Multiple studies have shown that people who use NSAIDs regularly have faster cartilage breakdown than people who don't. One study followed patients for 2 years. The ones taking NSAIDs lost more cartilage, had worse joint damage, and actually needed joint replacement sooner. Think about that. You take medication to reduce pain, and it makes the underlying problem worse. It's like putting a piece of tape over your check engine light in your car. The light isn't bothering you anymore, but the engine is still broken, and now it's getting worse because you're ignoring it. But wait, there's more. NSAIDs also reduce blood flow to your joints. Your joints are already struggling to get nutrients because cartilage doesn't have blood vessels. Now you're taking medication that reduces blood flow even more. It's a disaster. And we haven't even talked about the other side effects. Stomach ulcers, increased risk of heart attack and stroke, kidney damage, liver problems. These aren't rare side effects. They happen to a lot of people who use NSAIDs regularly. Now, I'm not saying never take them. If you have acute pain, an injury, or you need them occasionally, that's different. But taking them every single day for chronic joint pain? That's not helping you in the long run. It's making things worse. So what do you do instead? Well, that's the real question, isn't it? Because you're in pain. You need relief. And I'm telling you to stop taking the thing that's been helping. Here's what I found. And this is important, so stay with me. The reason NSAIDs seem to help is because they reduce inflammation. But they don't address why you have inflammation in the first place. They're treating the symptom, not the cause. The real cause, and this is what most doctors don't explain, is that the protective fluid in your joints is breaking down. It's not cushioning properly anymore. So your bones are grinding together, causing inflammation, causing pain. If you want to actually fix the problem instead of just masking it, you need to address that fluid. And there's a way to do that. A specific way that research shows actually works. I put together a free presentation that explains exactly what I'm talking about. It's not me trying to sell you something. It's walking through the science of what's happening in your joints and what you can actually do about it. Real research from real doctors. Go down to the description below this video right now. You'll see a link to that presentation. Click it. Watch it. It's only a few minutes, and honestly, it could save your joints. Because here's the thing. If you keep taking NSAIDs every day in 5 years, 10 years, you might need surgery. Your joints might be so damaged that medication doesn't even help anymore. But if you understand what's really happening and address the root cause now, you could avoid all of that. The link is right there in the description. Don't wait on this. Your joints aren't getting any better on their own, and every day you take NSAIDs, you're making the problem worse. Click that link. Give yourself a chance to actually heal instead of just masking the pain. All right, I'll leave that there for you. Now let's talk about habit number 4. Habit number 4, wearing the wrong shoes. This might seem minor, but your shoes affect your joints more than you realize. Every step you take sends force up through your feet, ankles, knees, hips, and spine. And if your shoes aren't absorbing and distributing that force properly, it all goes straight into your joints. Let me give you some examples of problem shoes. First, flip-flops and slides. I know they're comfortable and easy to slip on, but they have no arch support and no cushioning. Plus, you have to grip with your toes to keep them on, which changes your gait. People who wear flip-flops regularly have higher rates of knee and hip pain. High heels. I probably don't need to explain this one. They shift your weight forward, force your knees to compensate, and put enormous pressure on the balls of your feet. Even wearing heels just a couple times a week can cause long-term joint damage. Completely flat shoes with no support, like ballet flats or canvas sneakers. Your foot needs support. Without it, every step creates excessive strain on your ankles, knees, and hips. Old, worn-out shoes. The cushioning breaks down over time. If your shoes are more than a year old and you wear them regularly, they've lost most of their shock absorption. You're basically walking on hard rubber. Now, what should you wear? Shoes with good arch support, adequate cushioning, and a slight heel, not a high heel, just a small lift. The shoe should fit properly, not too tight, not too loose. And replace them every 6 to 12 months if you wear them often. Here's an easy test. Take out the insole of your shoe and look at it. If it's compressed, worn down, or has visible indentations from your foot, it's time for new shoes. And pay attention to how you feel after walking. If your knees or hips ache after a walk, it might not be your joints, it might be your shoes. Good shoes can make a massive difference. Habit number 5, eating too much sugar and processed food. This is where people get surprised. What does diet have to do with joint pain? Everything. Because chronic inflammation in your body doesn't just come from your joints. It comes from what you eat. And inflammation anywhere in your body makes joint pain worse. Sugar is one of the worst offenders. When you eat sugar, your blood sugar spikes. Your body releases insulin. And that insulin triggers the release of inflammatory chemicals called cytokines. These cytokines travel through your bloodstream and attack your joints. Processed foods are just as bad. They're full of omega-6 fatty acids, trans fats, and refined carbohydrates. All of these promote inflammation. Plus, processed foods often have additives and preservatives that your immune system sees as foreign invaders, triggering more inflammation. Here's what most people don't realize. You might be doing everything right for your joints, moving regularly, staying hydrated, avoiding medication, But if you're eating a diet high in sugar and processed foods, you're fighting a losing battle. There was a study where they took people with joint pain and changed nothing about their lifestyle except their diet. They removed sugar and processed foods and added more whole foods, vegetables, and healthy fats. Within just 4 weeks, most people reported significant reduction in pain. For weeks, just from changing what they ate. Now, I'm not saying you have to eat perfectly. That's not realistic. But if you're eating donuts for breakfast, fast food for lunch, and frozen dinners for dinner, your joints are suffering. Simple changes make a difference. Swap soda for water. Replace chips with nuts. Eat actual fruit instead of fruit-flavored snacks. Choose fish or chicken instead of processed meats. Your joints are living tissue. They need good nutrition to repair and maintain themselves. You can't rebuild damaged cartilage on a diet of sugar and chemicals. Habit number 6, not moving enough or moving wrong. This is tricky because it's two problems that look opposite, but both damage your joints. First problem, not moving enough. Your joints need movement to stay healthy. Remember what I said earlier about synovial fluid? It needs movement to circulate. Your cartilage needs the pumping action of movement to get nutrients. People who are sedentary lose joint function fast. Their joints get stiff. The cartilage breaks down. The muscles around the joints weaken, which means the joints have to work harder to support your body weight. But here's the second problem, moving wrong. Specifically, high-impact activities without proper preparation or form. Running on concrete every day with no rest days? That's pounding your knees and hips. Doing deep squats with bad form? That's shredding your cartilage. Playing tennis or pickleball on the weekends after sitting all week? That's asking for injury. The worst thing you can do is be sedentary most of the time and then suddenly do intense exercise. Your joints aren't ready for it. It's like taking a car that's been sitting in a garage for months and immediately taking it on a high-speed chase. Things are going to break. What you need is consistent, moderate movement. Walking is excellent. Swimming is perfect because it's low impact. Cycling is good. Gentle yoga and stretching are great. The key is daily movement at a moderate intensity. Not sitting all day. Not running marathons either. Somewhere in the middle. And here's something important, strength training. Not heavy lifting necessarily, but exercises that build the muscles around your joints. Strong muscles support your joints and take pressure off them. If your quadriceps are weak, your knees have to absorb all the impact when you walk. But if your quads are strong, they share the load. Same with your core muscles supporting your spine, your glutes supporting your hips. You don't need a gym membership. Body weight exercises, at home work fine. Squats, lunges, wall pushes, leg raises. Start easy and build up gradually. Habit number 7, ignoring morning stiffness. This is the habit people don't think of as a habit, but it is. And it's damaging because it's a warning sign you're ignoring. Morning stiffness is your joints telling you something is wrong. It's not normal aging. It's a sign that your synovial fluid is decreasing, your joints aren't being properly lubricated overnight, and inflammation is building up. Most people wake up stiff, sit on the edge of the bed for a few minutes, maybe take some ibuprofen, and then go about their day. They ignore it. They accept it. That's just how it is now. But that morning stiffness is an opportunity. It's your body giving you a signal early in the day that your joints need help. And if you pay attention to it, you can do something about it. Here's what I mean. Morning stiffness tells you that your joints seized up overnight. They need gentle movement to get that fluid circulating again. So instead of ignoring it, use it as a cue to do some gentle stretches. Before you even get out of bed, do some ankle circles, knee bends, hip rotations. Just 5 minutes of gentle movement while you're still lying down. This starts getting that fluid moving. Then when you stand up, don't rush. Take your time. Maybe do some gentle neck rolls, shoulder shrugs, arm circles. Walk around slowly for a few minutes before you sit down for breakfast. This isn't about making the stiffness go away immediately. It's about recognizing it as information. Your joints are telling you they need attention. And when you listen and respond, you're preventing further damage. The people who say, "I've just accepted that this is how I wake up now," they're the ones whose joint health deteriorates fastest because they're not doing anything about the warning signs. Think of it like a smoke detector. If your smoke detector goes off, you don't just take out the battery and ignore it. You find the smoke and deal with it. Morning stiffness is your joint health smoke detector. Don't ignore it. Now, here's what all 7 of these habits have in common. They all make the core problem worse. And the core problem is the same thing I mentioned earlier. Your joints are losing their protective fluid. You can fix all 7 habits. You can drink more water, wear better shoes, eat better food, move more carefully, stop taking NSAIDs. And all of that will help. It really will. But if you're not addressing the underlying issue, if you're not doing anything to restore the protective fluid that's drying up as you age, you're still fighting an uphill battle. This is why I keep coming back to that presentation I mentioned earlier, because it explains exactly how to address that core issue. Not just manage symptoms, not just make small improvements. Actually restore the fluid your joints need to function properly. If you haven't clicked that link yet, do it now. It's in the description below. This is the piece of the puzzle you're missing. All these habits matter, but they matter a lot more when you're also addressing the root cause. I've seen people make all these changes. They stop sitting so much, they drink more water, they eat better, they move right, and they still have pain. Why? Because their synovial fluid is still depleted. Their joints are still grinding. But when you address the fluid issue and fix these habits, that's when people see real change. That's when the pain actually goes away instead of just getting slightly better. The presentation walks you through exactly what's happening at the cellular level in your joints, why traditional approaches haven't worked, and what you can actually do about it. It's not long. It's not complicated, but it could honestly change your life. Go ahead and click that link. I'll be here when you get back. All right, so now you know the 7 habits. Let me give you a quick action plan. Something you can start doing today. Immediate actions. Number 1. Set a timer for 30 minutes from right now. When it goes off, stand up and move for 60 seconds. Then reset it. Do this every day. Number 2. Fill up a water bottle right now. Big one. Put it next to you. Your goal is to finish it by the end of today. Then do it again tomorrow. Number 3. Check your medicine cabinet. If you're taking ibuprofen or any NSAID every single day, talk to your doctor about reducing it. Don't quit cold turkey if you've been taking it for a long time, but start the conversation. Number 4. Look at your shoes. If they're old and worn, order new ones today. Good shoes are cheaper than knee surgery. Number 5. Look at your breakfast tomorrow. If it's sugary cereal, toast with jam, or a pastry, swap it for eggs, Greek yogurt, or oatmeal with berries. Just one meal. Start there. Number 6. Tomorrow morning, before you get out of bed, do 5 minutes of gentle movement. Ankles, knees, hips, shoulders. Make it a routine. Number 7. Pay attention to your body. When your joints talk to you, stiffness, pain, discomfort, don't ignore it. It's information. These aren't huge changes. None of them require a gym membership or a special diet or expensive equipment. They're small adjustments to what you're already doing. But here's the thing. Small changes compound over time. Just like the bad habits slowly destroyed your joints without you noticing, good habits slowly rebuild them. You don't have to be perfect. You're going to sit too long sometimes. You're going to eat birthday cake. You're going to have days where you're tired and don't move much. That's okay. This isn't about perfection. It's about making more good choices than bad ones. Your joints can heal. They can get better, but only if you give them what they need and stop doing the things that damage them. Now, I want to address something. Some of you are thinking, this seems like a lot of work. Is it really going to make a difference? And I get it. You tried things before. You've made changes. Maybe you didn't see results. So why should this be different? Here's why. Most people only change 1 or 2 things. They start walking more, but they still sit all day. They eat better, but they still take NSAIDs daily. They make partial changes and expect total results. These 7 habits work together. When you address all of them, or at least most of them, you remove the obstacles that are preventing your joints from healing. And when you combine that with actually restoring your synovial fluid, that's when real healing happens. I'm not promising miracles. I'm not saying you'll feel 20 years younger in a week. But I am saying that if you do these things consistently, in 3 months, 6 months, you will notice a difference. You'll be able to do things you can't do now. You'll have less pain. You'll move better. And for a lot of people, That's the difference between staying active and independent or becoming limited and dependent on others. That's worth the effort, isn't it? Before we wrap up, let me share something personal. I made this video because I've seen too many people suffer unnecessarily. I watched people accept joint pain as their reality when it didn't have to be. I've seen people get worse year after year because nobody explained what was really happening. You don't have to be one of those people. You have information now that most people don't have. You understand what's damaging your joints and what can help them heal. The question is, what are you going to do with that information? You can watch this video, think that's interesting, and then go back to your regular habits. Or you can decide that today is the day you start taking your joint health seriously. I hope you choose the second option, because you deserve to move without pain. You deserve to play with your grandkids, work in your garden, take walks, do the things you love. And you can, but you have to take action. Quick favor. If this video helped you understand what's really happening with your joints, hit that subscribe button. I make these videos to share information your doctor doesn't have time to explain. And leave a comment below. Which of these 7 habits are you going to work on first? I read every comment, and I try to respond to as many as I can. Look, I get it. Joint pain is frustrating. It's limiting. It makes you feel old. But here's what I want you to remember. These habits are destroying your joints, but they're fixable. Every single one of them, you can change. And when you combine fixing these habits with actually addressing the root cause, that drying up of your synovial fluid, things can get dramatically better. You don't have to accept pain as your new normal. Check out that presentation in the description. Learn what's really happening. Give yourself every possible advantage. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. Make it once. One last thing before you go. Everything I've shared in this video is based on research and evidence. But I'm not a doctor, and this isn't medical advice. Your situation is unique. Always consult with your physician before making significant changes to your health routine, especially if you're on medications or have existing health conditions. All right, that's it. Go take action. Fix those habits. Check out that presentation. And give your joints the chance to heal. I'll see you in the next video.